Hello everyone and welcome to an exciting matchup between the Vikings of Homewood Flossmoor and the Raiders of Bolingbrook. I'm Andrew Hale alongside
Isaiah Adeleke.
And tonight we have a very intriguing matchup between two 4-1 teams. HF is playing some good football as of late.
Yes, they are, and you mentioned we're in for some good football tonight, and there are a lot of stakes at this game. They're both also 4-1, same conference, but besides that, Alec Anderson, who was a athletic manager at Bolingbrook, and it came to HF in his final year. This is the bowl game. Last season, HF won 14-13, and the season before that, they won 29-0. So they're looking to hold on to the crown tonight.
Yeah, and we saw Alec Anderson's family actually participate in the ceremonial coin toss. I believe HF actually lost the coin toss and elected to receive. So HF is going to be on offense first, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do. Last game against Bradley, they had 370 total yards, 139 passing yards, and 231 rushing yards.
Yeah, and I think they needed that off the loss to Lockport the week before that. They kind of looked sloppy out there, a lot of penalties, but last week against Bradley, they looked really good. They looked really polished. They looked in season form. I think they're ready to win this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned how HF took a loss, but Bolingbrook as well. They lost to Lincoln Way East, and that's not necessarily a bad loss because we know the reputation of Lincoln Way East and how successful they've been in the past. So both teams, they definitely cannot hang their heads on those losses. As you mentioned, HF lost to Lockport 22-0, and now Lockport's 5-0. They're number 12 in the state, so that isn't necessarily a terrible loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned Lincoln Way East. That's not a bad loss. Yeah, in the last full season, HF went 10-2. One of the losses being and losing to Lincoln Way East in both of their losses. So Lincoln Way East is a really, really good football school. So yeah, not a bad loss for Bolingbrook, and also not a bad loss for HF in Lockport because HF is number 12 in this state.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very exciting game because HF, as you mentioned, very explosive. But not only is the Alec Anderson Memorial Game tonight, this is also Youth Organization Night. The bands of Parker Junior High and the bands of James Hart are both performing as we speak.
Yeah, and we see them. We see the cheerleaders in the middle too. We're getting ready for a great game coming up. It's great game coming up, and we're mentioning Lincoln Way East because HF also plays Lincoln Way East next week on October 8th, and we already know that's going to be a great game from past matchups.
Yeah, and so far, as we've been mentioning this entire pregame, HF is 4-1, and this is Coach Alexander's first season taking over for Coach Buzz, who in his entire tenure at HF, 10 seasons, went 94-24. So this is a big season for Coach Alexander. Maybe they are looking to kind of continue the success that HF had in prior years.
Yeah, HF, Homewood Flossmoor, has always been a great football school, and it will continue to be that under Coach Alexander. He has really proved himself this season. He has a chance to prove himself even more today with it being Youth Night and it being the Alec Anderson game. So this is a really, really big matchup for him. And if he wins this game, I think this really puts a spotlight on him for taking over the football program and not losing any strides.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think how successful HF has been in the past because their record year in and year out is always very difficult. We've mentioned Lincoln Way East, we've mentioned Bradley and Sandburg, but they have a tough task on their hand next week, and obviously tonight this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, and HF's defense, that's always like the highlight of their school. Like, for example, last week they forced two Bradley interceptions, two Bradley turnovers, which were interceptions, and they only put up a touchdown versus them. Lockport, the defense wasn't as strong, but the D-line still looked really, really good out there. And the 3 games before that, I think they allowed 15 points in the first 3 games. It was something crazy. HF defense this season, the seasons before that, has also always just been really strong. I think Justin Thomas on the D-line is a big reason for that. He's always getting to the quarterback, always punishing the running back.
Yeah, he's been very solid this season, but also the defensive backs for HF have also been very solid. In the Bradley game, they forced 2 interceptions, so if they look to continue that defensive success, they're going to have to do the same tonight.
Yeah, because you do not want to.
Yeah, and HF right here, getting ready to go out there, going through the smoke. Very, very cool intro to
HF is coming out here. We were mentioning their defense. They win and lose these games by their defense. If their defense plays good, they are going to be in really, really good shape. But their defense, how it was last week, unforceful penalties, looking sloppy, is going to be a long game. But I think tonight, after what they did to Bradley, only allowing a touchdown, I think their defense is ready to keep the offense in the game. Not to say the offense is bad or anything, because the offense has put up 33 points to Bradley, put up 40 points in 2 of the first 3 games. Their offense is also really, really good.
Yeah, and they have to be successful, especially on 3rd down. That was a big key to their win against Bradley. They went 4-9 on their 3rd down conversion. So if they look to have some success on the offensive side, they have to make sure that they can get the first on 3rd.
Yeah, you mentioned having success on the offensive side. Also think their running game is so explosive. When you have a quarterback like Cameron Oaksby out there, who can pass the ball 50 yards down the field and can also run to the other side of the end zone in less than 10 seconds, it really tires the defense. So their running game, getting a running game established early is going to be great for them.
Yeah, and that's always been a key in these HF offensive schemes. They've always looked to make use of their wide receivers, their running backs, especially in those wildcat formations.
Yeah, it seems like the running back is always the star of the show. You remember Sean Allen from a few seasons ago broke a lot of HF records because they ran the ball down other teams' throat, and it always seems to work. I mean, they put up 230 points to Bradley, 230 rushing yards to Bradley last week. I think we're going to see more of the same today.
Yeah, and if it's broke, don't fix it, right? And right here, it looks like the Bolingbrook Raiders are getting ready to kick off, waiting for the band to exit the field, and we're about to get underway.
Yep, we're ready to get underway. To stop, HF has a chance to establish the game early, get some points on the board, set the tone for the rest of the game. So we just gotta hope they take advantage of that.
Miles Walton looking to receive the kick, and here we go. The Vikings cleanly return the kick. Slowly going up the field, and he breaks through, and he has a hole. He is at the 40, the 30, the 20, and he is taken down. What a start for the Vikings.
That we were just talking about setting the tone, and the Vikings get a 90-yard return. Look like they are ready to go.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better start, especially on your special teams. Now the HF Vikings have to make sure they can punch this one in.
Yeah, punch it in. And I also remember 2 weeks ago in their loss against Bradley, we always say special teams is so important.
It is. It's a very underrated aspect about football, and the HF Vikings are proving why. Cameron Oglesby getting ready to get the snap here. Shane Price. A little play action here for the Vikings. Finds a man across the field. Miles Walton on the reception. At about the 3 here. 2nd and 1 here for the Vikings. Talking it over between each other. Shane Price gets the snap. Wildcat formation and kind of slips there.
Yeah, Jaden Price, he put in a lot of yards for the Vikings offense last week, and I think they're just ready to go.
Yeah, we mentioned their Wildcat formations. They just did it right there, and so far the Raiders are playing some very stout defense. They're really securing the middle of the field. They're not allowing too much of offensive pressure here. Vikings talking it over, what they want to do here. Cameron Oglesby getting ready for the snap. And looks to be And a false start on the Vikings. Not what you want there in that situation.
Yeah, we always mention penalties are really bad, and you never ever want to just get penalties because that's just a loss of yards, and that just does not help anybody on your team out. Yeah,
especially when you're in the red zone as well. Those are just killer penalties that the Vikings cannot have tonight. Cameron Oglesby getting the play from Coach Alexander. Shotgun formation here. 2 receivers out to the left. Looks to have a pitch, and is just absolutely stopped by that Raiders defense. Cameron Cox couldn't get through there.
Yeah, it looks like the Bolingbrook defense is ready for this Vikings running attack.
Yeah, they definitely had a game plan to most likely stop this Vikings run game, and so far they've done a pretty good job able to get them to have a false start, and then now fourth and 6 here.
And we see that the Vikings offense looks to still be on the field.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and get or attempt to get a touchdown here, trying to get as many points as they can.
And I say go for it.
3 receivers out to the left. Hands off, and absolutely stopped again. Not too much run production there for the Vikings at all. The Bolingbrook Raiders definitely, as I just mentioned, had a massive game plan to stop this Vikings run offense, and they did exactly that. Now the Vikings are going to have to go on defense here. Let's see if they can stop the Raiders. 1st and 10 here.
And that's not the worst decision to go for because the Bolingbrook offense has 94 yards to go. Not a bad decision at all.
No, you're 100% right. The Vikings took the chance, and now they have to see what they can do on defense. The Raiders hand it off, and does not actually hand it off, and the quarterback takes it. Maybe
looks
a hold here.
Flag.
Bobby Irvin. Nice few yards, but it might be coming back. The referees here are talking it over. Holding for Bolingbrook. Vikings, they were not expecting that play at all. Looked like a fake handoff. Raiders on their own 7-yard line here.
9 yards to go.
Yep. Another little bit of a trick play there, and the Raiders are off on the edge and getting quite a bit of yards there for Jaquan Howard. Nice run.
Yeah, not a bad run at all. We mentioned the Vikings D-line is really, really stout and good, but kind of looked a little weak right there. I don't think they'll be allowing too many more of those. Looks like these trick plays are really getting them, though. Really surprising.
Yeah, these trick plays, as you just mentioned, are really, really intricate. They've been able to kind of trick the defense into going one way, go the other way. So the Raiders definitely are going to have to continue to do that if they look to find success here on the offensive end. Maybe a face mask there for the Vikings, and the ball looks to have come out, but I don't think that play is going to stand. Look like a face mask there.
Yeah, we mentioned these trick plays. The Bolingbrook Raiders are continuing to do these trick plays. This one did not look like it worked that well compared to the other ones. Waiting on an official call from the ref.
Looks like it's going to be face mask against the Vikings. Again, not what you want if you're HF here.
Yeah, not what you want. This is already 2 penalties early in the game. That's just free yards for the Bolingbrook Raiders, and this is a very good team. You do not want to give a team like Bolingbrook free yards. You want to make them work for every yard they have.
Yeah, and we've yet to see the Raiders pass here. Maybe they'll do it here, or they'll continue their trickery. The Raiders. 2 receivers on the outside.
See a little bit of motioning.
Gets the snap here. A screen for the Raiders. Gets a few yards there. Decent pickup.
Yeah, you mentioned they have not passed the ball all game, and when they finally do, it's a very short screen pass. So it does not seem like maybe they're not confident in their quarterback, or they're just trying to take it slow and steady versus the Vikings offense, which was trying to sent some hard hits to start the game.
Yeah, ball on the Raiders 35. 2nd and 2 here. Snap for the Raiders. Another screen play. Gets some blocks and breaks through a tackle. Continues to go. Again, not a bad game there again. Some good screen passes here for the Raiders.
Yeah, these short passes seem like they are really, really working to their advantage.
And to properly perfect the screen plays, they definitely have to get some blockers out there. And so far, they've been able to do that. 1st and 10 on the 50 here. Looking for the snap here are the Raiders. A deep ball, and just a tad overthrown, maybe 5 yards. And that is the first deep pass that we've seen all game.
And when they throw a deep pass, it was overthrown by quite a lot.
Yeah, I guess they wanted to try and catch the Vikings defense off guard, and they did a little bit, but the throw was a little bit off.
And if the Vikings, you love to see that when they finally throw a deep ball, it's overthrown by quite a lot. So if the Vikings defense loves to see that, because they have to beat them short, it will not work.
Raiders hand it off here up the middle, and it is stuffed by that Vikings D-line.
We were just talking about it. You are going to struggle if you want to run the ball on that Vikings D-line.
Yeah,
it's so good. They have so many big guys in the front. Makes it almost impossible to run.
Yeah, you mentioned Justin Thomas in the pregame, and he came up really big right there. 2nd and 10 here for the Raiders. Talking over their game plan. Looks to be a penalty on the Raiders. Illegal shift is the call. 2nd and 15 for Bolingbrook.
Us Viking fans love to see that. Looks like
another
Bolingbrook
pass to the outside here. Tries to cut back across the middle, and again is stuffed. Is able to stand up, but is shortly put down. Nice defense there by the Vikings.
Vikings defense, they're very smart. They done screen passes about probably like 5 times already this drive, and it looks like that's all it took for the Vikings to figure it out. Looks like we're probably going to see Bolingbrook open up their offense just a little bit more, because it seemed like their goal was to do a lot of trick plays, a lot of short screen passes, and it's not working so far.
Yeah, 3rd and 19 here on Bolingbrook's 41. They're going to probably have to have a deep play if they expect to get this first. The Viking crowd here making some noise, cheering on their defense. Handoff here. Oh, a jet sweep, and it is picked up. If Bolingbrook didn't get on that might have been Vikings' ball. Not what you need in your own 35 there if you're Bolingbrook.
Yeah, they started off the drive really, really hot, and then kind of seemed like their momentum shifted a little bit down. Vikings defense really stood out right there. Looks like we'll be seeing a punt from them. This is really the only thing you can do in this situation.
Raiders punting here. Pretty good punt. Out to about the Vikings 31. Vikings on the return. Almost lost it there. Good recovery by the Raiders there to suck up the return there for the Vikings.
And we mentioned how important this this special teams is. That was a great return. Probably got about 30-yard return, and now you only have to get 50 yards to get a touchdown instead of having to get maybe 80.
5:47 left here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. 3 receivers out to the right for the Vikings. Find their man across the field. Is taken down. Miles Walton again, a pretty frequent target here for the Vikings.
Yeah, you'll be hearing his name a lot. He's always motioning out before the ball is snapped, always moving around. He's really, really fast. So, yeah, we'll be seeing him a lot. Probably seeing him get open a lot, too.
Cameron Cox here in the backfield. Vikings on their own 45. 2nd and 14. Number 9, Oglesby, finds his receiver.
That is
Cox
great.
again, breaks a few tackles, cuts across the field, and gets a lot of yards there for the Vikings, and that is a first down.
That is great for us Vikings. We've seen the special teams really show out to start the game. Then the offense kind of stalled down, but now the offense looks like it is ready to go to continue the rest of this game. That is a big game for the Vikings. You love to see it.
Yeah, and the Vikings seem to have a pretty quick tempo to start the game here.
Yeah, they're always hurrying at offense. They waste no time. Coach Alexander is really, really aggressive. And we'll see it here tonight.
Oglesby. It's a snap, hands it off to the left. Cuts across the outside. Makes a defender miss. And again, Miles Walton.
And this is second down. About 28 yards to go. This is Bears Vikings. They've been in the red zone a lot more than the game against Lockport, so you already know this is off to a much better start. The offense looks to seem really clicking. The special teams look great out there. Defense is not allowing anything either. This is us Vikings fans love to see this.
Oglesby getting ready for the snap here for the Vikings. Hands it off. Goes up the middle. Makes a defender miss there. Nice run by Jaden Price right there.
Jaden Price, I mentioned, if the Vikings get this running game going, this game can be over a lot quicker than it started. This running game is really, really good for them. And it seems like right now they're really getting it started. Cameron Oglesby is also passing the ball really good when he has to pass the ball. And this is a great game for the Vikings right now.
And the Vikings seem to have a lot of room up the middle. The Raiders defense is dropping back quite a bit. Oglesby, snap, hands it off again. Jaden Price, up the middle. Stuffed a little bit there.
That's a short game, but that's not too bad when you think about it. 2-3 yards, you really can't be mad about that, especially on a 1st and 10. You don't need to do anything crazy on there. Just get their offense going, get us kick started a little bit.
2nd and 7 here for the Vikings. 3:15 remaining in the first quarter. Some substitutions. Oglesby getting ready for a snap. Shotgun formation. Motion. Looks for another pitch play. Gets it to his man and is brought down. A small gain there. Again, Cameron Cox on the reception.
3rd and 6. It looks like Coach Alexander is probably going to have to pass the ball, but not necessarily. There's a lot of things he can do right now.
Yeah, and so far the Vikings really haven't utilized their pass game, more so runs and jet sweeps. Few pitch plays here. Here's a pass here for the Vikings. Oglesby drops back.
Finds a wide open man.
Yeah, but it looks like he dropped it. Cameron Cox dropped it. Good defense there by the Raiders.
Yeah, really good defense. They had to lock up. I wonder if Coach Alexander is going to learn his lesson and maybe kick the field goal, or is he going to go for it again? It's only about 6 yards. Not the craziest thing to do in the world. Pin the Raiders deep if he does miss it. Hopefully they don't, but it looks like they will be going for it. Not the worst decision in the world.
Ball on the 12 here for the Vikings. Looking like they're going for it on 4th and 6. Seeing if they can pick up this first down in red zone territory. Fake handoff there. Oglesby finds a man open and is taken down. Maybe he got there a little bit early, but it looks like the ref saw it a little bit differently, and the Vikings turn it over on downs once again.
Yeah, once again, 4th and 6. I mean, at the 94 yards, the Raiders have 94 yards to go to get an end zone. Maybe Coach Alexander, has he left 6 points on the board? We do not know, but he does believe in his defense. He has no reason not to.
Yeah, exactly. We mentioned how well they've been playing. They've only allowed a few touchdowns in their first few games of the season, first 5 games of the season. So you're definitely right with him trusting his defense, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Raiders have the ball here, hands it off, up the middle, fake handoff, and is taken down ferociously by Christian McKinney.
This Vikings defensive line does not play. I do not know how many times we have to say it. For maybe some people to understand, for maybe the Raiders to understand that if they want to run the ball, they are going to have to work for it. These are going to be the hardest rushing yards they are going to find.
Yeah, and that's a really good open field tackle there for the Vikings. Raiders
the defensive line with Christian McKinney and Justin Thomas, that's almost unfair.
Yeah, and so far the Raiders are trying to implement and continue to implement a lot of trickery. A nice pitch there, but it's taken down again in the open field. Another very nice tackle there.
Yeah, the trick plays kind of seem to be working sometimes. Sometimes they don't. Maybe about 1 or 2 yard gain. The Bolingbrook coach has to open up his playbook just a little bit because these trick plays have not seemed to have been the greatest things in the world. He's probably going to have to throw some deep bombs, maybe get the screen passes back out there if they want to get some points on the board, because the Vikings defense is locking everything up right now.
3rd and 8 here for the Raiders, looking for a first down.
3rd down conversion here would be great for the Raiders, but seems to be another run.
The Raiders hand it off again up the middle, and again, they haven't been able to get any production up the middle especially.
And we mentioned the Vikings D-line. It seems like the Bolingbrook coach does not realize how good this defense is. They're going to have to probably pass the ball. And even when they do, we seen last week when Bradley decided to pass the ball, they threw 2 interceptions. This is just a great defense overall. And we mentioned Coach Alexander believes in his defense, and he believes in them for a great reason.
Johnson here, about to punt for the Raiders. 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think they only gained about maybe 11 yards on his whole drive. So just great defense throughout this whole first quarter for maybe both teams.
Raiders punted away here. Fair catch is signaled by the Vikings, but he did bump into him. Let's see if the referees decide to throw a flag. They don't, and the Vikings are going back on offense. 6 seconds remaining. Probably will be able to get it off one play.
First quarter is about to be wraps, and so far I've just seen great defense from both teams. The Vikings offense has looked pretty good out there, but their special teams have looked really, really exceptional. We've seen Coach Alexander believe in his defense a lot, maybe a little bit too much, leaving some points on the board, but it's still a lot of game to go.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if there is a deep play here for the Vikings. Oh, false start there for the Vikings. A few players jumped off sides. It wasn't just one, but a few players. Or excuse me, false start there for the Vikings.
And you hate to see it. We do not like sloppy work.
1st and 15 here on the Vikings 44. Looks like the Vikings are setting up for a run play. Play action
Looks like
here.
a play action.
Finds his man open and drops it in his hands, but Miles Walton is not able to secure the catch.
You hate to see just a little bit buttery fingers, but walk it off. It'll be fine.
A little less than a second here. Vikings will be able to get off one more play before the quarter is over.
Yep, 2nd and 15 for the Vikings. And we mentioned it's been great defense throughout this whole game for both teams.
Yeah, and both teams really need to come away with something on these drives. The defense for both teams, as you've been mentioning, has been really stout. They've been able to swallow up the run game and the pass game, for that matter. Vikings here. Some motion here on the outside for the Vikings. Vikings find an open man and is able to make the catch, but the referees are signaling no catch, and the Vikings will have to go on 3rd and 15, but that looks to be the end of the first quarter here, and you're tuned into Viking Television. 0-0 game.
Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Knicks-Knacks to design your own unique pieces. Knicks-Knacks will have you satisfied to the max.
You're back, tuned in to Viking Television. Scoreless game here.
It is 3rd and 15 when we come back from the quarter, but
This is currently Alec Anderson's family on the field here.
This is why the stakes are so high for this game. He coached at both high schools, and just a fun rivalry for Bolingbrook and HF. And right now, HF has the crown, and they want to hold on to this.
Yeah, there's a lot of stakes, as you mentioned, riding on this game, and this is a great chance to prove what both teams really are about.
And seems like the Vikings offense is ready to line up almost for 3rd and 15. They have to do something pretty big here if they want to continue to win this game.
Oglesby drops back, tries to find a deep man, and just misses his receiver.
Just an overthrown pass, and for the first time in it looks like a while, it looks like Coach Alexander will probably punt the ball. He's not too close to the end zone. It's 4th and 15. The safest decision here to do.
Yeah, Miles Walton complaining to the referees, thought there might have been a pass interference there.
And these teams have looked aggressive out here. I think I've seen a couple missed calls. Can argue some of these have been a couple player interferences, but it seems like the refs are just letting them play it out.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, HF getting ready to punt away for the very first time.
Yeah.
Spencer Leak here, getting ready to punt. High snap, has to drop back and muffs the snap and is tackled by the Raiders player there. Not the greatest of things that could happen for the Vikings right there. Muffed the snap and wasn't able to get it away.
And we mentioned how important special teams are. We see it right there. Instead of the Raiders being on the wrong side of Instead of the Raiders being on their side of the 50, it looks like they will be on the Viking side and will not have that many yards to go if they want to get a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. And now the Raiders are in a perfect spot in an attempt to execute on offense, which they haven't really been able to do so far, and they have a perfect chance here.
And the Vikings defense has been good all day, so I don't see a reason for them to stop. Hopefully we see a turnover for them so the Raiders do not have any points on the board.
Yeah, we'll see if the Raiders decide to go with a trickery here. And they headed right up the middle of a very nice run by the Raiders. Number 15, Marco Nasca. Very, very tough run. It looks like there was a push after the play. That may be unsportsmanlike conduct. Not what you want there, again, if you're HF.
Yeah,
that would be their 3rd or 4th flag of the game. And these, you mentioned it in the pregame, these are flags that you just can't have.
These unnecessary penalties are not good for either team, but for the Vikings, you're having so many. They're already close to their end zone. This is when you have to play your most perfect defense, basically. And just an unnecessary penalty like that, you hate to see it.
Yeah, and that sets up the Raiders in perfect territory. Good opportunity to score here. 1st and 5. 1st and goal. Raiders hand it off again.
We mentioned how good this Vikings D-line is, and it is proven time in and time out.
Marco Nasca, another pretty productive run up the middle. Comes up a little bit injured there, kind of limping. Looks to stay in the game, though. Raiders set up for another run here. Fake handoff, jet sweep, and they get into the end zone. That was beautiful execution, and it continued to continue their trickery on offense, and that you can't do it better than that. Jaquan Howard with a very nice run on the outside and gets into the end zone.
And that's a load of things. That's a combination from the offense not getting any big yards. That's a combination of the special teams kind of muffing the punt a little bit. And then the defense, that unnecessary penalty really put them behind schedule.
Yeah, and the Vikings, they definitely helped them out on that drive there. But now the Raiders going for the extra point here. Clean snap and hits the uprights, and that is no good.
Now, if you're a Viking, us Viking fans love to see that. Just saving any points you can. 7-0 game is a lot different than a 6-0 game. And we mentioned unnecessary penalties, but unnecessary points off the board, you would hate to see that. That should be an easy 1 point. As we see on the instant replay, the Vikings D-line just came out of there. It kind of looks like they surprised the Raiders kicker, and he hit the crossbar.
Yeah, that was a good snap there, but just not able to get the PAT. And as you mentioned, 6-0 game is a lot different from a 7-0 game, so the Vikings definitely have to make up for their unforced penalties and attempt to get their offense going.
Yeah, and this special team, we always say, I think we say probably every 5 minutes, special teams is so important, and them just missing a simple extra point like that can change the tide of the game. We've seen it before where a team will lose about 1 point because they missed a field goal. They missed that easy extra point.
Bolingbrook on the kickoff here. Walton getting ready to receive for the Vikings. Vikings receive. Has some blockers in front of him. Is able to stay on his feet and is taken down at about the 25.
And if you're a Vikings offense, you probably have to spread out your playbook a little bit because you have about 75 yards to go. That is a lot of yards. They want to get a touchdown here. They don't want to fall behind early. So we'll probably see Coach Alexander open up that playbook, maybe do some plays that he wanted to say for later and right now, just so this game does not get too far out for his Vikings offense.
Yeah, and the Vikings, it's not like their offense hasn't been productive. They have been able to take the Raiders by surprise on a few of these plays, but just come up short in the red zone.
Yeah, this red zone has really been killing them.
Vikings handed off there, and number 6, Jaden Price, taken down by that Raiders defense. A little bit of a slip up there by the Raiders.
2nd and 9 for the Vikings on their own 26.
2nd and 9 here for the Vikings on their own 26.
74 yards to go. We're probably gonna see a lot more passes to drive. Looks like that Bolingbrook defense is not allowing any rushing.
Yeah, and they're in straight man coverage here, so maybe a pass as you see, and a nice pass there to Cameron Cox, but Oglesby was taken down, so this Bolingbrook Raiders defense has definitely been able to come in contact with HF, especially on those passes.
And you mentioned the man coverage. A screen pass is actually a really great play call for man coverage. Just seemed like the Vikings offense probably couldn't capitalize that much. They have about 8 yards to go. Can't wait to see what they draw up here, Coach Alexander. The third down conversions, we mentioned how important they are. Last week they probably completed 4 out of 9, so hopefully they could get one right now.
Yeah, Vikings snap it here. Looks for a man and is sacked by that stout Bolingbrook Raiders defense.
Yeah, and it just seemed like the offensive line kind of collapsed. I think Cameron thought he saw an open receiver. He did a fake pass, and that's really what it cost him that right there.
Very nice sack for number 2, Brandon Shipp, the linebacker here for the Raiders.
We'll probably see Spencer Lee coming back out. Hopefully not another muff punt. Hopefully we could get Spencer Lee to pin the Raiders deep.
Yeah, and coming off the field after muffing that punt, he was told by Coach Alexander to instead back up before he kicks it or tries to receive the snap instead of catching it with one hand. And he's able to get it there, and I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of extracurriculars here so far, a lot of back and forth and a little bit of jawing between these two teams.
Yup, this is a rivalry game. HF wants to win it. Bolingbrook wants to win it. The best team will probably win this game. And still early. It's a really good game right now, 6-0 with the Bolingbrook having the ball after the Spencer Lee punt. That was a really good punt, by the way. Pinned them really deep. Instead of having to only gain 20 yards after the muff punt, now they have 70 yards to go if they want to put points on the board.
Yeah, 100% able to get the roll on their side. And the Raiders go back to work here on offense. Some motion. Hands it off to the running back. Gets on the edge and is able to get through a few defenders. Nice run there by Jaquan Howard of the Raiders.
That was a great tackle by Kadari Kearns. almost looked like he was going to gain a lot of yards there, but it seems like Kadari stopped him 5 yards of the first down.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders at their own 37.
2nd and 5 here for the Raiders on their own 37. 9 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Raiders hand it off here. Again, tries to get to the outside, is able to get through a few defenders again, and is taken down by Justin Thomas.
And we mentioned how great Justin Thomas is for this Vikings defense. And the Raiders only have 2 yards to go, and we know they love the trick plays, so I already know they're going to pull out something crazy to attempt to get these last 2 yards. Hopefully the Vikings defense is ready for whatever they have planned, though.
The Vikings fans making some noise here on 3rd and 2.
They have to make noise. This is the first time the student section is completely opened up for any fans to come. So the students have been ready to support their HF Vikings. We know the Vikings do not want to lose in front of their fans.
The Vikings sense a run, and that is exactly what happens. Jaquan Howard gets on the outside and is able to continue to stay on his feet and gets a massive gain there for the Bolingbrook Raiders.
That is a huge gain for the Bolingbrook. I thought they were going to try to do something try to do something really tricky, surprise the Vikings defense, but it seemed like they just went all out rush, and it seemed to work, gaining them about 50 yards, and we've seen
them run quite a bit. The Raiders, that's been their entire game plan here so far. Not too many passes that we've seen, but quite a bit of runs. Let's see what they decide to do here. Quarterback here, Bobby Irvin for the Raiders. Gets the snap, hands it off up the middle, and is able to get quite a few yards. Looked like he was going to come up short there, but he was able to continue to keep his feet going and get a few yards. 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it's 5-yard gain, and that's a really good game. If you can average 5 yards by carry, you're probably one of the best running backs in the league. And we're seeing the Bolingbrook try to really just take this game slowly and slow would win you this game.
Yeah, the Vikings sense another run here, and that's what happens. Bobby Irvin able to get through the Vikings' initial defensive pressure, but it's taken down eventually.
Yeah, tackled in the backfield for a 2-yard loss.
Justin Thomas coming up a little bit slow there.
And you hate to see that.
Going straight to the trainers.
You hate to see that. He's such an important factor for this Vikings defense.
Writhing in pain there. 37. Another handoff there to the outside. The Raiders able to make a few defenders miss and continue to keep his feet going. Another really solid run there by
I think that might be good enough for a 1st and goal for this Raiders. This running game really seems to be working for them.
Angelo Irvin, really solid run on the outside there for the Raiders.
It seems like these runs to the outside is what's really keeping them in this game right now.
Justin Thomas still on the sidelines. 1st and 5 here for the Raiders. On the Vikings 5. Gets through a few defenders and looks like he got in there for a Raiders touchdown.
And the refs are calling it a touchdown for the Raiders.
Jaquan Howard is really playing well right now, able to secure both of the Raiders' touchdowns so far in this game. Currently a 12-0 game. Let's see if the Raiders can secure the extra point.
Yeah, last time they missed it. Let's see. Let's hope this Vikings defensive line comes out here and makes them miss another one. Anything to just save you points, you will take.
100%, and it looks like it is right between the goalposts, and that is another point added to the total of the Raiders. 13-0 here. That will allow us to take a quick break here. You're tuned into Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
Prairie State College is here for you. Our staff is ready to help plan the next step in your academic journey. At PSC, you have options. Select from in-person, online, or hybrid courses. Visit prairiestate.edu and enroll today.
I got it.
We'd like to thank the following gold sponsors for making our broadcast possible: Aurelio's Pizza, Boa Construction, Culver's of Homewood, D5 Design and Metal Fabrication, Denham's Clothing Store, Hair by Nicole Bree, Mama and Me Pizzeria, Melody Mart, Nick Snacks, and Upset Daisy Boutique.
You're back tuned in to Viking Television in a 13-0 game in favor of the Bolingbrook Raiders. The Vikings getting ready to return here.
Yeah, and about 6 minutes left in the second quarter. They kicked the ball at halftime, so this can really change the game. They want to score here. They want at least a field goal would make anything better. They need to get some points on the board.
Vikings return here. Find some open space up the middle. Cuts back and gets through a few defenders, able to make a miss, and a really nice return again by Giles Walton.
Yep, and we've seen this special teams has been really, really good for the Vikings. And it seems like this is just an ongoing trend. And you just need any yards you can get. Hopefully the offense can finish this off really good and get some points on the board.
Yeah, and there we saw again both teams going at it. I must admit, I like the energy that both of these teams are playing with.
Yeah, this hurry-up offense, these guys are really, really, really fast-paced. Both teams are, and this makes for some really good football.
Vikings.
See, the refs are talking to them in the middle. Seems like something's going on between the offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it. This is a rivalry game. There's a lot at stake here. Both teams, you can tell they want it.
And more than just a rivalry game, both teams are 4-1. This can drastically change their standings.
Vikings handed off up the middle.
And
and it looks like there was a late shove there by the Raiders.
And it looks like a fight may be breaking out.
Again,
refs are throwing flags.
Some more extracurricular activity there. Yeah, that's got to be unsportsmanlike conduct. You saw one of the Raiders defenders there come in late and shove a Viking that was at the bottom of the pile.
And we see all the HF Vikings are clapping.
It looks like they're calling a personal foul on both of the teams.
Coach Alexander does not look too happy about that at all, bickering with the ref.
Yeah, he's been definitely giving the ref an earful this entire game. Not too happy with some of these calls here. Vikings, 2nd and 3 here, and another flag. Looks like another false start here for the Vikings. That is the second time that has happened so far.
Just losing yards like that is not good whatsoever. You mentioned penalties can really cost you games, and it's probably cost the Vikings over 30 yards already, and we're not even at halftime yet.
2nd and 8 here for the Vikings on their own 43. Looking to try and get across midfield. Come up short on a few of these drives as of late. The Vikings handed off. A solid run there by Jaden Price. Tried to get on the outside, but just came up a little bit short. 5:20 remaining left in this game here, and looks like there's an injury timeout here. That'll give us a chance to take a timeout as well. You're tuned in to Viking Television.
The VBC. Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Nick Snacks to design your own unique pieces. Nick Snacks will have you satisfied to the max.
Who got injured? Do you know what number?
Can you see it? Just out of my vision.
Located in the heart of downtown
It's for
Scottsdale,
the Raiders,
the brewery
though.
is known for its fun, comfortable atmosphere and
It's not
delicious
HF.
menu options.
I see.
With tons of antique pictures and novelties, it is also the perfect family-friendly restaurant. Grab some friends for a good time and go visit Flossmoor Station.
Prairie State College is here for you. Our staff is ready to help plan the next step in your academic journey. At PSC, you have options. Select from in-person, online, or hybrid courses. Visit prairiestate.edu and enroll today.
Television, 13-0 game here, and it looks like there's an injured player down here for the Raiders who have yet to get to his feet. The trainers are surrounding him.
And you hate to see it. There's been injuries in this game for both teams so far, and you just hate to see it.
Yeah, you never like to see injuries, as you just said, and it looks like the medical truck is coming over to assist as well. Yeah.
3rd and 8 for the Vikings. What do you think they have to do here to maybe get their offense going after this timeout?
I think that the Vikings probably will have to maybe try and take a page out of the Raiders' book. Maybe try and some trick plays, just anything to get a little bit more of a spark going. Here we see the medical staff attending to the injured Raider.
Yeah, and this is just not good. You see a lot of Viking training staff, Bolingbrook's training staff. As much as the rivalry this game is, these two teams do have love for each other, and you just want to see a clean game.
Yeah, and the stretcher coming over as well. The Raiders defense sitting, waiting to see what happens here. This is the second game in a row that the ambulance has actually had to come out here, so a few injuries as of late.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of injuries, maybe because the shortened COVID season last season, maybe that's why. Not as much conditioning, maybe not as much practice. Just, it seems like there's been a lot more injuries overall.
Yeah, and just something you don't want to see ever in any football game.
Yeah, whatsoever, especially young adults pretty much who have a lot to look forward to. You just hate to see this for both sides.
And it looks like the family of the players coming over to see what's going on.
And we see a lot of people surrounding that player. Seems like they are ready to take him into the stretcher. Hopefully it is not that serious. Looks bad right now, but hopefully he will turn out good.
Yeah, but either way, tough scene here.
So yeah, we see the training staff for HF and Bolingbrook coming out to help him.
Look like they're getting ready to lift him onto the stretcher. As you mentioned, hopefully everything's all right. But again, it's a tough thing to do, especially in a pretty exciting game here, 13-0. So never want to see this
whatsoever.
But when the Vikings get back on the field, it'll be a 3rd and 8. As you mentioned, their offense is going to have to, continue to keep on, trying to find a way to get some type of production.
Yeah, their offense has looked. It seemed like their offense have had probably one good play, a drive. It seemed like maybe now they just need to combine the plays for a good drive overall and not just a highlight of a drive maybe. Yeah,
and especially earlier in the game, the Vikings were able to get into the red zone, but come up a little bit short, and then these past two drives.
I just hope Coach Alexander, he left 6 points on the board, going for it on
12 points. Because they got stopped twice in the red zone as well.
Yeah, so you hate to see that, because he could easily this could easily be a 12-13 game, or even if he kicked the field goals, maybe 14, a 6-13 game. But he left those points on the board, and I hope it does not come back to cost the Vikings. Get the offense going right here, and nobody will be talking about him not going for it at the end of the game.
Fans back in the stands here.
Yeah, and we know that fans have not been back in the stands for a little bit. I think this is the first home game in a very long time, and they're out in support. I think there was a tailgate party for the first time ever in a parking lot. So the fans are excited to be back and watch their Vikings attempt to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure the players themselves love the atmosphere, especially since they didn't get a chance to do that. They went 2-2 last year, and their season was cut short due to COVID, so they didn't really get this atmosphere, especially for the seniors in their final season.
Yep, you see the big lights are on, the Friday night lights, and it seems like we're still helping the play out just get up a little bit. But yeah, we see these fans happy. The game is still a really close game. We have a lot of game left.
Yeah, and we've been mentioning it. It's a great thing. Just being in this high school atmosphere, a lot of people love. This is part of the high school experience.
Yeah, it is, and just them not having fans for like the last probably 4 weeks. So they have had 2 away games, and the 2 home games they've had has been limited fans. But now we see all the fans are back in the stadium making some noise for their HF Vikings.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to have to rely on these home fans as they continue with their schedule. They only have one home game remaining, and that is against Lincoln Way West. But if these fans are able to attend on the road, I'm sure that would help the Vikings out a lot.
It would. Their last home game is also their senior night, so we already know these guys are going to be playing their hearts out, as if they don't do already.
And we're still in an injury timeout here, so let's take another break and hopefully some more action when we return. You're tuned in to Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Nick Snacks to design your own unique pieces. Nick Snacks will have you satisfied to the max.
The VBC would like to give a formal thank you to all of our platinum sponsorships for the 2021 through 2022 year, starting with Bottle and Bottega, Chicago Shoe Chefs, Cornerstone Unlimited Incorporated, The Early Learning Center, Elevate Cupcakes and Decor, First Baptist Church of University Park, Flossmoor Public Library, Flossmoor Station, Goddess and the Baker, Gypsy Fix, Heart and Wellness Center, HF Homes, Keller Williams Realty, Pyro Spa, Links and Sons Funeral Home, Leland Grove Law CCC, Parks Pastries, Pop's Italian Beef, Prairie State College, Thomas Photography, Village of Flossmoor, Yard Lanyap, and You Matter Too. Once again, the VBC would like to give a formal thank you to our platinum sponsorships for the 2021 through 2022 year. We truly appreciate it.
We'd like to thank the following gold sponsors for making our broadcast possible: Aurelio's Pizza, Thorough Construction, Culver's of Homewood, D5 Design and Metal Fabrication, Denham's Clothing Store, Hair by Nicole Bree, Mama and Me Pizzeria, Melody Mart, Nick Snacks, and Upsa Daisy Boutique.
Into the stretcher and into the ambulance. Good to see that the medical staff was able to handle that well.
And now it looks like the Vikings are ready to get this first down.
Vikings snap it here on 3rd and 8, and is sacked by that ferocious Raiders defense. Number 8, Christian Ellen with the sack.
And you are not happy. Us Viking fans want to see some points on the board, and it looks like it will be yet again another punt for them. But yeah, it is 5 minutes until halftime. There's a lot of time for this defense to show out and do something really good for them, to maybe uplift their offense, motivate them, get them going while their offense is still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, this is 3 straight drives in which the Vikings offense has resulted into a punt. Another short punt there. And they're able to get it away successfully here. A really, really solid punt as well, able to make up for that short snap. Really nice punt there by Spencer Leak.
That is a really good punt. And we mentioned over time and time again, special teams is so important. But it will be 1st and 10 for this Raiders offense. Hopefully the Vikings defense can keep them on their side of their 50-yard line. Yep. And maybe give the offense another chance to score before halftime, because the Raiders do receive the ball at halftime, so you want to get some points on the board. You don't want to give them a chance to go up 3 possessions.
Yeah, Vikings able to flip the field there. Now the Raiders are going back to work on their own 19. 1st and 10 here. Raiders hand it off up the middle. Few yards there.
Yeah, not many. This defensive line is locking up for the Vikings, and it seems like they always do that. Just maybe a hole that just opens up, and that's why the Raiders have some points on the board.
Yeah, and the interior defensive linemen for the Vikings have played really well tonight, able to stop some of those inside runs, but on the outside, on the other hand, a different story. Raiders here, getting ready to snap. 2nd and 5. gets the snap and a few yards again up the middle.
Again brought down by Jones.
Well, we mentioned this Vikings defensive line is so good. And it's showing why Coach Alexander believes in them so much, why Coach Alexander always seems to go for it if it's possible. And it's 3rd and short for the Raiders. Last time it was 3rd and short, they got a 50-yard gain. Obviously, we do not want to see that again.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 here for the Raiders on their own 26. Hands off the ball to the outside, and looks like he is brought down short of the line to gain.
That does look like it will be for a loss of yards, maybe 1 or 2. But no matter what, it seemed like the punting team is coming out Bolingbrook. The way he just comes off the tackle and tackles him before he can get maybe a first down is really good. And we've seen out there, this Vikings defensive line does not play.
Yeah, another really good open field tackle by Christian McKinney there for the Vikings.
And it's 4th and 3, and Bolingbrook coach does not seem to be as aggressive as Coach Alexander for the Vikings. See, he's punting it on 3rd and short.
Johnson here,
4th and short
for the Raiders. Decent punt, and it looks like the Vikings returner was bumped a little bit by the Raiders, but no flag on the field, and the Vikings will go back to work on offense.
And we mentioned, I told you, it seems like the refs are just letting these guys somewhat play it out in a way. They're not calling a lot of stuff that maybe some other refs would.
Yeah, and that's what you would hope in a rivalry game, because you know tensions are going to get high sometimes, and the refs sometimes, they need to realize that these are high school players, and sometimes their emotions get the best of them. But I'm glad we've been able to see that they've let them play, and the Vikings going back to work on their own 41, 2:30 remaining. And it looked like it was tipped by one of the defensive linemen for the Raiders.
And we mentioned that hopefully the Vikings defense will give the offense another chance to score, because the Raiders do get the ball at halftime. It looks like they gave the Vikings another chance to score. Hopefully the offense can take advantage of that.
Yeah, and the Vikings really need a spark here to get the crowd going as well. Vikings.
Yes, the crowds, I know this crowd can be a lot louder. They just need to see something out of their offense to really get it going.
2nd and 10 here on the Vikings 41. He drops back. Nice pass up the middle and gets it over for a first down.
And that is what you love to see. Just a first down game like that is really beneficial for everybody involved.
Miles Walton on the reception. Another really clutch and key reception for Miles Walton.
We mentioned we're going to see his name a lot. He's so shifty. He's always moving around the pocket. You really never know where he's at.
Yeah, and he's been the primary target for the Vikings as of late, and the true player that they go to when it comes to those pass plays.
He's kind of like the Lions' Calvin Johnson back in the day.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to pass it to, just pass it to Miles, and hopefully he'll create something for you.
Exactly, and the Vikings 1st and 10 here on Bolingbrook's 34. Cameron Oglesby is able to pick up another poor snap, and not too much to do on that play right there for the Vikings.
And you hate just seeing sloppy plays like that. It seemed like it could be really good, and then just a bad snap kind of ruined the whole play.
Yeah, and we've seen that quite a few times, especially on special teams. We saw a very high snap on the punt and a very low snap as well, but it looks like the Raiders are taking a timeout, and as they take a timeout, we'll take one with them. You're tuned in to Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
Timeout is called by the Raiders.
You're back tuned in here to Vikings Raiders on Viking Television, and the Vikings, they definitely need something before this quarter ends. About 1:50 minutes left for the Vikings to do just something, maybe some points.
Yeah, hopefully. We mentioned that the Raiders get the ball at halftime, and you do not want to give them the ball and no points on the board. Getting some points on the board before halftime is going to make the locker room a lot better, a lot more healthy, a lot less toxic, and just boost the momentum and ego of everybody on your team. So a touchdown here is so important.
Yeah, exactly. And the Vikings going back to work, 2nd and 15 here on their 39.
Looks like Cameron's the only one in the backfield.
Yeah, gets the pass off, able to make a few defenders miss, stays on his feet, and is taken down. Miles Walton again.
Once again, yeah, it's Miles again. It seems like we were always saying his name. 5-yard gain, 3rd and 10 for the Vikings. And once again, we've seen these third down conversions are so important. They were 4 and 9 last week. And so far, they have not seemed to be as high on their third down conversions, but hopefully that will change soon with about a minute until halftime.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually why the Raiders would decide to take a timeout there. The clock is now, they stopped the clock for the Vikings, who are scoreless, so maybe they're expecting to get the ball back if the Vikings come up short here.
They really believe in their defense. And
the Vikings snap it here. Tries to find a man on the outside and does. Looks like it is Miles Walton again.
And it looks like that will be stay in bounds. I thought it may have been out of bounds, but the clock is still running.
And it doesn't look like the Vikings are going to, and actually, I second that, the Vikings are going to take a timeout, and as they take a timeout, we'll take one with them. You're tuned into Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Nick Snacks to design your own unique pieces. Nick Snacks will have you satisfied to the max.
Prairie State College is here for you. Our staff is ready to help plan the next step in your academic journey. At PSC, you have options. Select from in-person, online, or hybrid courses. Visit prairiestate.edu and enroll today.
You're tuned into Viking Television as the Vikings look to get some points on the board. They don't have too much time left, and that is exactly why Coach Alexander decided to take a timeout right there.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I thought he kind of got out of bounds. You know, he was going for there, but it looks like he did not. And they have about 48 seconds to get 3 yards on this play, but overall they have about 27 yards to get if they want to secure a touchdown.
Yeah, and they are definitely setting up these plays so that the wide receiver has a good chance of going out of bounds. Didn't work right there, but the Vikings going back to work. 47 seconds left.
And it's 4th and 3rd down. HF has not been too high on the 4th down conversions, but that will change.
Vikings snap it here. Find the receiver, and really good defense by the Raiders right there. Able to get in front of the target and get the ball away, and says a few words to the receiver, Cameron Cox, as he's on the ground. So, again, these teams are going back and forth. A really nice stop by the Raiders there.
Yep, and we mentioned it. You mentioned them calling a timeout kind of early, and it seems like maybe it would benefit them as they have the ball once again to get some points before halftime.
Yeah, and if they're able to do that, they're definitely in a good spot to try and take this one over the Vikings tonight. Raiders getting ready to snap it here. Look like they're about to run it, as they've done for a majority of tonight. Another timeout here. Couldn't get snapped, and while they take a timeout, we'll take one with them. You're tuned into Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
We'd like to thank the following gold sponsors for making our broadcast possible: Aurelio's Pizza, Boa Construction, Culver's of Homewood, D5 Design and Metal Fabrication, Denim's Clothing Store, Hair by Nicole Bree, Mama and Me Pizzeria, Melody Mart, Nick Snacks, and Upsa Daisy Boutique.
You're back tuned into Vikings Raiders here on Viking Television. Raiders going back to work, and with a little amount of time left, but it looked like they weren't able to, get the play ready before they took the timeout right there, and they're making good use of their timeouts towards the end of this half.
And Vikings love to see that, them wasting a timeout pretty much.
And he fumbles. The Raiders are able to fumble, and is picked up by the Vikings and he fumbles, and the Vikings fumble, and it goes out of bounds. Looks like the Vikings will keep it, but the Vikings are lucky that they were able to fumble that out of bounds.
And it happened so quickly. The student section is jumping. The fans are cheering. It happened so quickly. And we mentioned the defense is going to keep the Vikings in this game. And their offense kind of seemed to be slow, but it seemed like the defense is really picking it up for them. And the offense only has about 13 yards to go for a touchdown, and that is really good for the offense, because the offense kind of been slow. But a 13-yard, pretty much a 13-yard down, and you're back in this game. Not that you were ever out.
And you mentioned it that the Raiders took a few timeouts. Maybe that kind of helped rejuvenate this Vikings defense. They were able to get the takeaway there, get the fumble, and now they're going back to work with 34 seconds left. 1st and 10 at the Bolingbrook 13. And the defense for the Raiders, again, playing very solid tonight. Oglesby sacked again. Couldn't get too much there, and the Vikings are taking a timeout, and we will take one as well. The Vikings 0, Raiders 13. You're tuned in to Viking Television.
We'd like to thank the following gold sponsors for making our broadcast possible: Aurelio's Pizza, Boa Construction, Culver's of Homewood, D5 Design and Metal Fabrication, Denham's Clothing Store, Hair by Nicole Bree, Mama and Me Pizzeria, Melody Mart, Nick Snacks, and Upsa Daisy Boutique.
You're back, tuned into Viking Television, and you came back just in time for a very exciting matchup. I mean, these two teams are going back and forth here, and this game has turned into complete chaos.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of penalties. We've seen a lot of extracurricular activities. These guys are beefing a little bit. Sadly, we've seen a couple injuries for each side. But so far, this game has been great. And the Vikings, we have a chance to score, put some points on the board before halftime.
Yeah, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, they just need something in these last few seconds.
And I do not think Coach Alexander, if he has to, if it does come to 4th down, I don't think he will be going for it. He's gone for it multiple times, but I think he just needs to see some points on the board.
Vikings here getting ready to snap. 2nd and 12 on the Raiders 15.
Only Cameron in the backfield. You see some motioning.
Miles Walton then an interesting play call. Tries to give it to his receiver and gets it back and gets a lot of yards on a play that probably wasn't shaped up to be just that.
That is a great gain for the Vikings.
As we can see here, an interesting play, but as the Vikings take another timeout here, we'll take one with them. You're tuned in to Vikings Raiders on Viking Television.
The VBC would like to give a formal thank you to all of our platinum sponsorships for the 2021 through 2022 year, starting with Bottle and Bottega,
Chicago Shoe Chefs,
Cornerstone Unlimited Incorporated, the Early Learning Center, Elevate Cupcakes and Decor, First Baptist Church of University Park, Flossmoor Public Library, Flossmoor Station, Goddess and the Baker, Gypsy Fix, Heart and Wellness Center, HF Homes, Keller Williams Realty, Pyro Spa, Links and Sons Funeral Home, Leland Grove Law CCC, Parks Pastries, Pop's Italian Beef, Prairie State College.
You're back tuned into Viking Television as the Vikings are looking to score. Cameron Oglesby looks around and is able to find no one, and he is able to get in just short of the end zone. Looks like they're going to mark him at the 1.
And you're not mad about that all the way. Maybe you can argue that was a touchdown, but just the first and goal, probably only 1 yard away from a touchdown. That is really exciting for the Vikings.
But it looks like those yards might come back as the referees have thrown a flag. Talking it over here, and it looks like that is going to be coming back. So very tough break for the Vikings right there. That's something you cannot have in a time like this.
Yeah, we mentioned how penalties can lose you a game.
Yeah, looks like holding is the call, and the Vikings are now 3rd and 13 when they could have been 1st and 1. So a massive switch in momentum here.
Yeah.
Vikings have a lot to do in these last 11 seconds.
Yes, instead of being 1 yard away, now it seems like they are 13 yards away, and that is not good whatsoever.
Vikings getting ready to snap here. Cameron Oglesby. Another short snap. Has to make do with the snap, and is taken down. That is the last thing you want if you're the Vikings. You have to make sure that snap is clean, and it just wasn't. And that looks like it'll do it for the first half.
And the first half analysis, that has not been a bad half for the Vikings, but definitely not been one of the greatest. Seems like maybe just cut down on the penalties for both your offense and defense. We've seen a chance for the Vikings to score, and then a penalty has held them back from scoring. And we've seen the defense have allowed the 20 to 25 yards of free Bolingbrook yards because they've been sloppy. A couple false starts, couple holding calls for the offense. Just overall, just work on the penalties. Your defense has been really good. Your offense just needs to seem to string some plays together, and you're a really good position for the second half.
Yeah, and as we go into halftime, we have some halftime entertainment brought to you by Viking Television. You're tuned into Vikings Raiders. We'll see you in the second half. You're tuned into Viking Television.
The Voyager is the student newspaper here at HF, which has been the voice of the school for over 60 years. It consists of stories and articles written by the students, with the help of program sponsor and teacher, Miss Rachel Kacharski. The Voyager has been quite successful in its time, including winning multiple awards. This past Tuesday, September 21st, the staff of the Voyager published their first stories on their website. Upon scrolling through the stories, a lot of the students decided to write about hard-hitting topics and voice their opinions on the school, especially the changes within this school year. Today, some of the Voyager staff is here to share why they decided to write about these topics and what they hope to change by writing these stories.
I have 2 articles currently published on the website. One of them is titled The Dress Code Dilemma at HF, and the other is called How the College Board is Failing Students Everywhere. I don't know, I've been involved in a lot of AP classes and exams over the years at HF, and I just felt like the College Board has always not really done justice to the students, so I just wanted to express my opinion on that.
Sometimes I like writing news stories because some of them are interesting because, I get to know stuff before everybody else knows it. And opinion because I'm a very opinionated person. Well, obviously the Voyager is a newspaper, which is writing, and I love writing. I write all the time. So I hope that can help me with my future of becoming a writer of some sort.
Always hard topics. That's the point of journalism, right? You seek the truth and then you report it. So students are right now writing their opinions on the dress code, which I know is a topic that a lot of our students at HF care about. Voyager is also on social media, so we also are on Instagram and on Twitter. So make sure you follow HF Voyager on both of those accounts.
Read the paper because we work really hard.
It's great to see that students are trying to fight and stand up for things they believe in, so props to the Voyager for giving the students an opportunity to voice their opinion. While you're here and listening in on the topic of the Voyager, you should definitely check out some of the articles mentioned today. For VTV, I'm Siddali Gabriel.
What's up, VTV? My name is Zanaya Walker. I'm the captain of the fencing team, and I'm going to be telling you the top 5 reasons you should join. Coming in at number 5, you can, no matter your height, gender, or race, you can come and play fencing. Number 4, we have all new gear, so the perfect opportunity to make your mark. Number 3, we have wads of cash for those of you guys interested in scholarships. And number 2, one of our own fencers, Emma Mensa, now attends Harvard. So if you want success, you know where to go. And last but not least, number 1. We all wear masks, so if you get too close, gotta poke them with a stick. Thanks for listening. I'm Zanaya Walker. Hope to see you out there.
The HS varsity field hockey season is in full swing, and the team is over halfway through its season. Currently, the team has not won a game and has a record of 0-5, but they are not letting that record get them down. The team continues to work towards improving their skills in hopes of turning things around.
To improve my skills, I feel like a lot of it has to do with my mindset, and so I've been trying to be as positive as I can, especially during practices, and just helping out everybody and trying to keep our heads up during the game.
Something I do as an individual to improve my skills is learning new stick work and encouraging my teammates as well.
Coach Gam has a few plans to help the team.
I think the biggest area the team has for growth this season is improving our communication skills as well as our possession, and I think those go hand in hand and something we've been working on all season. We will work on improving those areas by doing some possession drills and numbers up and numbers down drills that will encourage the girls to communicate and understand and see the field better so that they can contain that possession and do better each game.
Their next game will be on Tuesday, October 5th on the North Field at 5 p.m. against Loyola Academy. Go out to support the field hockey team. Go Vikings!
Last Wednesday, the boys golf team had their conference match at Ravislow Country Club.
On the beat.
5 players shot under 90 strokes. Tyler Thomas with 89. Charlie Van Etten with 89. Eric Steiner shot an 88. Patrick Donahue came in with 85. And Cameron Reed shot a 79, good for 9th all day, earning him all conference.
Amy, it's a course we're familiar with, and so I'm hoping the boys are extremely competitive. We had a nice practice round on Sunday. I'm hoping, we play our best. There's a good opportunity to qualify as a team. If we don't qualify as a team, then I'm hoping to at least get 4 to 5 individuals out. They just have to be in the top 10.
Regionals start tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned for the results right here on VTV.
And now, under the direction of drum majors Whitten White and Sam Sextonson, is the band ready? Now take it away! Our next selection was a #1 hit in 2012 and was her third song that topped the Billboard Top 100. The Marching Vikings and future Marching Vikings close this halftime show with the famous chart topper, Stronger.
Oh, it is. Oh, you know what? I probably did. I probably accidentally hit it. Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Feet and put your hands together for your very own 2021 Viking Marching Band. Under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Whitlock, assisted by Mrs. Kim Tulungan and Director of Percussion, Mr. Brian Love. A special thanks to marching and music assistants, Jenna Lane Becker, Matt Becker, Anna Gamboa, Mason Rydell, Melissa Souter, Kristen Engelbert, Annie Riley, and John Whitlock. Be sure to join us in 3 weeks as the HF Vikings celebrate and battle Lincoln Way West. Let's hear it again for the 2021 Viking Marching Band!
You're back tuned into Viking television as the Homewood Flossmoor Vikings are currently down a baker's dozen to the Bolingbrook Raiders as the Vikings are looking to kick off right about now.
Yeah, and they're down 13-0, which isn't the worst deficit in the world right now. And they currently are kicking the balls, but their defense has shown they can get stops when they need to. It's just on their offense to pretty much string together a couple of plays and get some points on the board.
Yeah, and you mentioned those stops in the first half, and the Vikings had a great opportunity to try and get some points early in that, or late in that second quarter, forcing a fumble, but again, the offense wasn't able to get it done, and that's why the Vikings are scoreless.
Yeah, and it seems like it's been kind of like that all game. You mentioned that they didn't get it at the end of the half, but even the very first drive, they're only about 6 yards away from an end zone. They go for it, and they don't get it. And I believe somewhere in the second quarter, once again, I was like, oh, he's going for it again, and he misses it. So they've had about 3 red zone trips, and they have not converted. This game could be a lot different. They just pretty much put in that final nail in the coffin, that final step, and they just have not gotten to that point yet. But hopefully the second half will be a little bit better.
Yeah, we're ready. The fans are ready. The players are ready. And here we go. We're about to kick it off.
Mention everybody's ready. The student section looked T. They look like they were ready to cheer on their HF Vikings. They look like they're ready for a touchdown. They have not seen one in a very long time because we've had a few away games. We've had the student section limited, so they're ready to see a touchdown.
Nice kick there by the Vikings. Able to take the Bolingbrook returner down after a few players had to come over and assist. So definitely a little bit of trouble trying to take him down. That was a powerful return there for the Raiders.
Yeah, you mentioned it was hard to take him down, but all in that, he got 26 yards, which isn't the greatest thing in the world, which isn't the worst, but yeah, definitely a decent return. Took a lot of Vikings to take him down.
Yeah, what do you expect we see here from the Raiders? Do you think some more trickery?
The Raiders have been doing a lot of trickery this whole entire game, but it kind of seems like they get down, get third and short. They seem like they like to take it slow and steady, third and short, and they kind of blow up a run. And so it's just up to the Vikings to make sure close out any gaps, make sure there's no holes for the running backs to run in.
Raiders snap it here, and a massive hole for the Raiders there. And it looks like the ball might have lodged out there towards the end. Vikings think that they have it, but the referees have signaled that he was down. And that is a great start if you're the Raiders, able to, for the first time probably all game, get through that interior D-line and get a huge amount of yards.
Yeah, I'm expecting more out of the same for the Raiders. We always say if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it seems like this run game is really, really where they excel at. The Vikings D-line has been making it hard for them, but you're a good running team. You're hard to stop regardless.
Yeah, and the Raiders, they really haven't thrown the ball at all tonight. Here they do it. Screen pass. Has some blockers, but is taken down quite quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned they have not thrown the ball, and once again, we see them throw the ball, but when they do, it's always a screen pass, something really, really short. Maybe like throws a negative yards kind of in a way for the screen pass. The only time I remember the quarterback for Bolingbrook throwing a deep pass was an overthrow about like 10 yards over his receiver. So, yeah, it seems like this run game, these short runs, these kind of trick plays seem to be working for them. It's just, and I wouldn't even say maybe been working for them because the Vikings defense has been doing their job. It's just up to the offense to score for the Vikings.
The Raiders snap it here. Some more trickery, fake, and the quarterback gets out to the outside. Solid run. Not going to get the first down, though. Comes up a few yards short. Bobby Irvin, another really solid run. He's been on fire tonight with all of the yards he has secured.
Yeah, and he's so fast off the edge, especially with these like fake handoffs. He kind of gets the Vikings sucked into the middle and takes off out the outside. But luckily, the Vikings have a lot of guys. Their corners have a lot of speed to make the open field tackles. Jeremy Thomas has made a couple. Chris McKinney has made a couple.
A little bit of motion here. Going for a QB sneak, and the Vikings able to try and push him back, but I don't know. That's real close.
And it seems like the refs are kind of deciding. Obviously, Raiders are saying they made it a first down. Vikings are saying they stopped them, but it's until the ref to decide.
See what the ref signals here. And it looks like it will be a first down for the Raiders. That is tough. The Vikings had a really good opportunity to stop them there, but the drive will continue for Bolingbrook.
Yeah, you know the Vikings really wanted that call.
Yeah, 100%, and it looked like they were kind of contemplating bringing out the chains, but it looked like they were very optimistic in their call, and here go the Raiders again, able to get a few yards up the middle, maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, not that many, but once again, this slow. You already have a 2 possession lead. There's no reason. They already weren't passing the ball. It's like you were going to see even less passes because they're just probably going to try to do all the safe plays. And we've seen them punting on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. This is a really safe team. They do not play with their leads.
And it looks like they did gain 6 yards. Currently 2nd and 4 on the HF 36. HF thought they were able to take down the ball carrier, but instead another trick play, and they're able to get him eventually. Nice play there by the Vikings defense.
3rd down may be the most important down if you're the Vikings. You're hoping to stop them. We are probably the Bolingbrook is going to punt the ball, and you see right there number 44 for the Vikings comes up, wraps him down. As a great play by everybody involved.
Yeah, Malik Jones in their beautiful open field tackle, able to have some help from his teammates, but either way, got the tackle, and now it is 3rd and 4 as the Vikings student section making some noise, cheering on the home team. The Raiders go for a pass, a very rare pass, and a massive hit there by the Vikings, but he was able to hold on to the ball, and that will be another 1st down for the Raiders.
Yeah, we see when they pass the ball, is always a short pass, and it seems to work however, though.
Yeah, especially so far in this second half. It seems as if they've passed more here than they did in that entire second quarter, and so far it has been very successful.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for these Raiders. They're kind of marching down the field in a way.
Bobby Irvin fakes the handoff, takes it himself, is able to bounce off 2 Vikings defenders, and fumbles the ball, but it looks like the Raiders have recovered it. Again, very lucky. Oh, actually, and it looks like the referees have signaled that is the Vikings' ball, and that is and they have overruled it yet again. And the refs are all contemplating what just happened there, and it looks like they are signaling and going with their original call of Raiders' ball.
And it seems like these refs are kind of playing with these the Vikings defense hearts. They're ready to march off the field, really excited, and have to come back and play more defense. But we said it again, this Vikings defense is really special. This is a really good group of guys.
And with that, we will take a timeout along with the players. You're tuned in to Viking Television.
Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Nick Snacks to design your own unique pieces. Nick Snacks will have you satisfied to the max.
Tuned into Viking Television, and right there the Vikings decided to take a much needed timeout because the Raiders were really pushing the pace and getting a couple plays in continuous fashion.
And we mentioned, it looked like the Raiders were kind of marching down the field, couple runs, a couple passes, kind of actually opening up their playbook a little bit. So, that timeout was much needed. We seen the Vikings almost secure the ball, though, but it kind of seemed like the refs were going back and forth of whose ball it was. But they finally decided it is the Raiders' ball. And they have about 14 yards to go if they want to get into the end zone. But hopefully the Vikings do not allow that. Their defense has been pretty good all day. Kind of looks like it's weakening a little bit, but still a lot of yards. 14 yards is not guaranteed.
Bobby Irvin getting ready for the snap here. Gets the handoff, and the Raiders able to get another really, really solid run there.
It seems like these Raiders are just kind of bouncing off the Vikings defenders. That's like a second play in a row where a guy just bounced off completely without even having to truck.
Yeah, so far Bobby Irvin and Jaquan Howard both really leading this Raiders offense with the running back and the quarterback position. Currently 2nd and 4 on the Vikings 8. Raiders looking to score here. Bobby Irvin hands it off, and the Vikings are able to stuff them. Absolutely no yards on that play.
Yeah, this is great defense by the Vikings. We said it here. Time and time again, this D-line is nothing to play with. And we see Justin Thomas, remember, he went out in the first quarter, and he is back and healthy, and he is really important for that interior D-line. So them having Justin back really helps a lot, and we're seeing it here.
Yeah, the Raiders, third and 3 here on the Vikings 7.
Section making noise for this 3rd and short.
Raiders hand it off to the outside, and it looks like another touchdown for Jaquan Howard and the Bolingbrook Raiders. And it looks like the call is being overturned. Looks like there may have been a hold on the Raiders, and that is very, very key if you're the Vikings.
We always say that not special teams, but penalties, they can win or lose you a game. And that was just they walked in for a touchdown basically, and now it might get held back just because of holding.
Yeah, and you can't have that if you're the Raiders. Offsetting penalties here. Both teams look to have picked up some type of penalty there. But either way, no touchdown
on the play, and Viking fans, we're happy about that. Instead of it being 19-0, it is still 13-0, 3rd and short, and a chance for the HF Vikings to pretty much get a redo of that play, and they already know what the Bolingbrook kind of wants to do.
Coach Alexander looking for some type of explanation on the call here. Looks like they're starting to move the ball back to where it was originally spotted due to the offsetting penalties. Coach Alexander has been very furious with these refs so far this evening. Raiders looking to rush here on 3rd and 3.
So 3rd and 3 once again. Hopefully it will be a different result than a touchdown.
Bobby Irvin drops back, looks for a pass, and is sacked. Another sack by Justin Thomas. We've mentioned his name all night, and he proves why right there.
That was a great sack. Beautiful. Kind of fumbled, but looked like a Raiders jumped onto that. I don't think anybody, looking at the instant replay, we see Justin Thomas brings him down, but he held onto the ball. Justin Thomas sacks Irvin, and then it is now 4th and 11. Going to be a little bit of a long kick. We seen the kicker miss a PAT earlier. Hopefully he misses another kick.
It's to be a 25-yarder here. See if he can add another point to the Raiders' total. Kick is up, almost blocked, and it looks like it is short and no good. That is clutch if you're the Vikings. Great defense there on that kick.
That is officially 4 points left off the board for the Raiders. You remember they missed a PAT earlier, and now they just missed a 3-point field goal. You love to see this, because the Vikings offense has been kind of slow this game, but anything does help, and them having 4 points off the board is one of those things.
Yeah, and they've added a ton of pressure on those field goals. Those field goals and extra points for that matter. They've been able to really get in the kicker's head and able to kind of manipulate and dictate where those kicks head. And right now the Vikings are heading back onto the field for another drive, and right here they really need to score.
Yeah, for sure. And we mentioned this is going to probably be a close game. Them having the Raiders kicker kind of off his game will maybe come back to help them in the end result.
1st and 10 here on their own 15. Motion. Pitch play again. And it looks like the Vikings are going to be stopped right there. Cameron Cox tried to go for a little bit of a stiff arm, but it looks like the Raiders defense stood pat right there and was able to only allow 3 yards. 2nd and 7 here for the Vikings. The Vikings have truly utilized that pitch play all night, especially to Cameron Cox, who has been one of their key running backs here tonight.
Yeah, him and Jaden Price have been looking pretty decent out there, just looking to string some plays together for a touchdown.
And there it is again. They go for that pitch play, and again, they get a few more yards, but not too many in total.
And this is the most important down. We always say it. 3rd down conversions are so important, and it is 3rd and 4, which is really nice for Alexander. There's a lot of stuff he can do here. He can pass, he can run, he do some trickery, maybe another pitch play, just because the pitch plays have been getting about 3 or 4 yards, and maybe barely get that first. Anything though to get that first is what they need.
Yeah, Cameron Cox coming off the field there, lost his helmet. Vikings go for a pass here, and that is just not accurate right there.
Yeah, at all. We see number 14 on the Raiders limping a little bit.
Yeah, either way, the Raiders so far tonight have played really good defense, especially on those slant plays. They've been able to get in front of the Vikings receivers and kind of stop any type of completion whatsoever.
Yeah, and looks like Coach Alexander, we said he's aggressive, and he is proving it again. It is 4th and 4, and he is going to go for it.
Looks like the Vikings are actually going to punt here. Spencer Leak
changed his mind.
Good snap. And it is blocked. And the Raiders are able to pick it up. And that you just can't have that if you're the Vikings. That is the third time that the Vikings have truly failed on their special teams play.
And we always say special teams is just as important as the offense and defense. And we always just see it coming back to hot teams. And once again, this is probably how Raiders scored their first touchdown.
Yeah.
A really bad punt, really short field, and they scored. And it looks like more of the same here. Hopefully the Vikings defense does step up. They have been playing great all night, but it's only 6 yards to go. What can you really do in this situation?
Yeah, and on that play, it didn't even look like it was more of a Raiders block. Instead, it was more of a pressure, and the ball was kicked off of one of the Vikings blockers. So unfortunate there, but even better defense there by the Raiders. The Raiders hand it off here, and it looks like Bobby Irvin is able to keep it, and it looks like that is going to be a touchdown. And now the Raiders have gone up 19-0 on the Vikings.
A touchdown for the Raiders. It is now officially a 3-possession game. And once again, we always say it, but special teams, probably the only reason Raiders have these 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 out of the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that muffed kick, block kick, or punt, it's just, it really is going to haunt the Vikings tonight. And immediately after, the Raiders are able to score 20-0 though.
Yeah, 20-0. Raiders have had to work for the touchdowns, but kind of not really. We're seeing them having short fields, and that's really where they excel once they get into that red zone. I wish we could say about the Vikings, but I wish we could say the same about the Vikings. They've been into the red zone a few times. Their offense has been clicking. It just seems that when they get there, they just can't seem to punch it in.
Yeah, penalties and mishaps has been the true key, or the true really thing that has hurt the Vikings right there. And Justin Thomas not too happy with his defense. Currently down 20-0. He's been playing really well tonight, and you can tell the type of leader he is, preaching to his defense, trying to hype them up a little bit, trying to do anything he can to light a fire in their spirits.
Yes, and then their offense is coming back out, and it starts with the offense. Obviously, defense wins you championships, but you can't win a championship without a great offense. And we're just hoping to see some points on the board for the Vikings.
Raiders kicking off here, a really good kick. Gets it to about the 5 for the Vikings. Vikings have a nice return, and open field, and is able to get through a few defenders, but is eventually pushed out. Very, very nice return by Giles Walton once again, and he's been doing that all night.
I was going to say it on the very first drive, he got a 90-yard kickoff return. They just need to punch it in, but yeah, once again, he's been a great returner all season for them, but this game he has been out of his mind.
Yeah, they're definitely, tonight they've relied on their special teams more so on their returns, because remember the very first play of this game, they were able to immediately get into the red zone. Unfortunately, they weren't able to score, but they were able to get there nonetheless because of their special teams. Now they're going back out on offense here. 1st and 10 here for the Vikings.
You see Justin Thomas is on the offensive line now. He's doing a great job blocking number 16.
And the Vikings hand it off here, and open field for number 6, Shaden Price, and he's able to finally be taken down after a massive run, and that is just clutch if you're a Vikings fan.
Yes, I was just talking about Justin Thomas. He did a great job blocking on that play for Jaden Price to find the open hole and get a big game. Look at the instant replay. We see the blocks, so we see him celebrating, happy as can be, because you need all the points you can get. You need all the yards you can get.
Yeah, and right now the Vikings are doing all they can to try and shift the momentum in their favor, and that is a good way to start. Vikings handed off here, again, to Price, but is eventually tripped up. Not too much going there for the Vikings.
2nd and 12 for these Vikings, and we always say it. They get into the red zone, they just can't punch it in. Hopefully it'll be a little bit different this play.
Justin Thomas coming out. It's really impressive over the fact that he's able to play both the D-line and an O-line and be very impactful
on both
when he's on the
sides of the
field. Exactly. Vikings getting ready to snap. Get the snap. Fake a handoff. Another screen play. Threw it a little bit early and was able to turn his back and make the catch was Cameron Cox. Very, very, I mean, it was a tough play overall, but he was able to make do with what he had.
And it's 3rd down. We always say this 3rd down is so important. Can really change the tide of the game right here.
And if you're the Vikings, you'd probably assume that either way they're probably going to go for it on 4th down. They haven't even signaled to the kicking squad at all for an extra or a field goal. So right now, 3rd and 14 on the Bolingbrook 23-yard. And it looks like he has an open receiver and just misses him. Cameron Oglesby just missed him.
You would have loved to see that completion. Get Miles Walton going. Get your quarterback's arm really out there. Just missed him. But, yeah, you said it. This kicking team has not even been signaled to come on the field. It is 4th and 14. And I am guessing Coach Alexander will go for it.
Yep, and it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, and I'm not too surprised by this call. They really need a touchdown, and they're going to attempt to try and get that right here. Maybe just even a 1st down. It's 4th and 14, so just need 14 yards here. Don't necessarily need the touchdown. Cameron Oglesby getting ready for the snap. Looks out to his left. Has a defender in his end zone. I don't know if that's enough for a first
down.
I don't know. It's very close. And it looks like they're going to signal it short. That is really tough for the Vikings, and another massive defensive stand for the Raiders.
Yeah, and they keep getting close. You see, it was a great cast, a great patch, just not far enough for the 1st down, and it's now the Raiders' ball.
Yeah, the Vikings going back on defense here, and they just need to stop them here. They need to get the ball back in the hands of the offense, or maybe even a defensive score, because last week they were able to have 2 interceptions. So anything to rack up some type of points here for the Vikings would be huge. Raiders on their own 12 here. Hands off, up the middle, gets through a few defenders, stays on his feet, and a huge gain. And it seems like we've seen that all night. On the first play on most of these drives, they've been able to hand it off up the middle, and Shaquan Howard has made some money going up the field, honestly.
Yeah, it seems that's his favorite area. The quarterback kind of likes to go to the outside, and the running back likes to go to the inside and find the open hole. So you know that probably really confuses the defense. Don't know what's always happening.
Exactly. You mentioned it. It seems as if the quarterback runs or more to the outside, whereas the running back usually goes up the middle. So the Vikings, they probably need to adjust to that. And it looks like the Raiders are actually going for a pass play here, a deep pass, and it looks like they have an open man, and he drops it right through his hands. The Vikings yet again get another break, because that could have been very, very dangerous.
Just butterfingers right there for the Raiders. He had a wide open catch, probably a wide open touchdown. Just drops through the middle of his fingers. Coach can't be too happy about that. Quarterback put that right on the money for him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can't have a better throw than that. It was right through his hands.
And it seemed like the Vikings, it seemed like that was a blitz, and they were expecting to get out there, and they just couldn't get out there in time, and that's why the receiver was so open. Luckily, he didn't catch it.
Raiders fake the handoff here, another QB run, and not too many yards there.
And we just said it that the quarterback does love to run to the outside for the Raiders, and he does it again.
And yet again, Justin Thomas on the tackle. He's had quite a few of those tonight.
just seems like he's everywhere on the field.
Yeah, and if you're a Raider, you definitely do not want to see him anywhere near that ball, because a few times they have had some trouble securing the football, and the Vikings are really hoping to force a turnover here.
I think it's been 3 forced fumbles, only 1 recovery for the Vikings, but that is a really good stat to have. You just got to jump on the ball.
Yeah, Bobby Irvin getting ready for the snap here. Hands it off. And the Raiders are able to keep on going, and right there, the Raiders, they needed that right there. Now they have a perfect opportunity to try and get the first here.
And we know their coach is kind of on a safer side. Let's see if he comes out here and punts. It is 4th and very short for the Raiders with about a minute until halftime. Until the 4th quarter.
It looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, and I honestly don't blame them the way the Vikings offense has been playing. If I were the Raiders, I would honestly take the chance of their defense trying to stop the Vikings here.
And
let's see what they do.
4th and short.
Oh, trying to get him to jump right there.
Looks like it's not working.
And it looks like it will be a timeout, and as the Raiders take a timeout, we'll take one with them. You're tuned into Viking Television.
Just a reminder.
We'd like to thank the following gold.
The VBC would like to give a formal thank you to all of our platinum sponsorships for the 2021 through 2022 year, starting with Bottle and Bottega, Chicago Shoe Chefs, Cornerstone Unlimited Incorporated, the Early Learning Center, Elevate Cupcakes and Decor, First Baptist Church of University Park, Flossmoor Public Library, Flossmoor Station, Goddess and the Baker, Gypsy Fix, Heart and Wellness Center, HF Homes, Keller Williams Realty, Pyro Spa, Links and Sons Funeral Home, Leland Grove Law CCC, Parks Pastries, Pop's Italian Beef, Prairie State College, Thomas Photography, Village of Flossmoor, Yard Lanyap, and You Matter Too. Once again, the VBC would like to give a formal thank you to our platinum sponsorships for the 2021 through 2022 year. We truly appreciate it.
You're back tuned into Viking Television, and during that commercial, the Raiders were able to punt the ball away. The Vikings signaled the fair catch, and the Vikings offense trying to just do something.
If you guys remember, the Raiders did come out for that 4th down. Looked like they were going to go for it. It was only 4th and 2. But it looked like their game plan was to make the Vikings jump after all the penalties the Vikings have gathered up this game. But they did not jump, so they decided to punt the ball. And it is now the offensive time to score for about 23 seconds until the 4th quarter.
Vikings hand it off here and are stuffed. Nowhere to go. Great defense there by the defensive line of the Raiders.
And they'll probably let it run until the 4th quarter. About 10 seconds left. No reason to rush. Get a new play call. You have about 12 minutes to put up 3 touchdowns. What do you have to do?
They just got to do something that they haven't done all night. They have to pass the ball. But as we go into the 4th quarter, the score is 20-0 in favor of the Raiders. You're tuned in to Viking Television.
We'd like to thank the following gold sponsors for making our broadcast possible. Aurelio's Pizza, Boa Construction, Culver's of Homewood, D5 Design and Metal Fabrication, Denim's Clothing Store, Hair by Nicole Bree, Mama and Me Pizzeria, Melody Mart, Nick Snacks, and Upsa Daisy Boutique.
Prairie State College is here for you. Our staff is ready to help plan the next step in your academic journey. At PSC, you have options. Select from in-person, online, or hybrid courses. Visit prairiestate.edu and enroll today.
You're back tuned into Viking Television at the start of the 4th quarter here. Not too much happened in that 3rd quarter. The Raiders were able to score, but the Vikings are looking to do the same here. Something that they haven't been able to do all night.
So, yeah, 2nd and 14. They have 12 minutes to go. That's 3 possessions. The Viking offense has proven they can put up points, and they can put up points quick when needed. It is now the time.
They're going to have to do it here very quickly. Vikings looking for a pass up the middle, but it is, again, broken up by that very, very stout Raiders defense, especially the play of their safeties and their defensive backs have been really, really solid tonight.
I don't even think third down conversions matter anymore because now it's fourth down conversions. There's no reason to even punt the ball if you're Coach Alexander, in my opinion. Your defense have proven that they can get the stops when needed, but they're just wasting too much time. And we've seen that the Raiders can waste time if they need to. They can run the ball down your throat. If I'm the Vikings, it's only fourth down. 3rd and 14, I'm not going to try to get it all right here because you still have fourth down.
Vikings have 2 receivers out wide. A little bit of motion here. Vikings snap it. Looking for a receiver deep. And he has one on a nice curl route. But he's able to stay on his feet. And he was not tackled while he's down. But he's going to at the 30, at the 20. Makes the defender go past him. And that is very, very key if you're the Vikings. And for the Raiders, you have to make sure you tackle him there.
Yeah, I remember it. I think it was a Bears-Rams game. Caught the ball, he went down, and nobody touched. They just assumed he was down, and he rushed it in for a touchdown. Sadly, Miles Watson did not get the touchdown, but he did get a big game for the Vikings, and that was what you love to see. The Vikings are in the red zone again. We just need them to score now, punch it in. Once again, we said this team, they have fast guys, they have shifty guys who can get points quickly. And that is what they are looking for.
Yeah, Miles Walton, great awareness to realize that he was not touched and keep it going. Vikings hand it off here and, again, are just stuffed on those outside runs. That they've gotten no production whatsoever.
Yeah, that was them. The pass is working right now, and these runs just don't seem to be. Maybe switch it up with a play action. That's how you get them. But right now, just straight running the ball is not working right now.
Yeah, those handoffs to the outside for Cameron Cox have been shut down almost immediately. Currently a 2nd and 11, and the Vikings, they just need to do something. They really do. They need to pick up this first down, and for them, they really need to score here. As you mentioned, they need to score quickly because, as we're speaking, there's only 11 minutes left, and they need 3 touchdowns.
Yes, you hear the fans screaming, "We need a score," and yes, we do.
Vikings getting ready to snap it here. Cameron Oglesby. Looks like maybe a delay of game. And it looks like there was a timeout right before there. That was very close. And I don't know what was their plan there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to get the defense to jump or something. It's 2nd and 11. Probably not the greatest time to use a timeout because you're going to need them later. If you're going to win this game, it's going to be a close game. So you're going to need those team timeouts. You only have 2 left now. Hopefully Coach Alexander saves them because we've seen kind of some bad clock management at the end of the first half. Left 5 seconds off the clock when they could have maybe gotten 3 points or even a chance to go for it on 4th down. But Coach Alexander, hope he knows what he's doing. This is a very big game.
If you're the Vikings, you probably need to have a little bit of better awareness there, just awareness of the clock, because if they didn't signal that timeout, that would have been 5 more yards backwards, and the Vikings, the last thing they need is to go backwards here.
We always talk about how these penalties kill the Vikings, and so far this has been it this game. We see the Raiders score 2 touchdowns because of 2 not penalties, but 2 botched kicks, basically.
2nd and 11 here at the Raiders 19. Cameron Oglesby signaling some motion here. Miles Walton on the right side. Oglesby drops back, finds some open field, and is able to get out of bounds to stop the clock, and along with that, get quite a few yards on that run right there.
Yeah, you need it. We talked about how their quarterback can get out the pocket pretty easily. He's really fast. He also has an arm, though, so yeah, he's finally getting out the pocket. 10 minutes left to go into this game, and it's 3rd and very, very short. And if you're the Vikings, you love it. You're really close to a touchdown. And 3rd and 1 and not being in the goal is actually so perfect because if they get this 1 yard, they have another 4 chances to only get about maybe 8 yards.
Yeah, and here we have some motion again. I'm kind of surprised that the Vikings aren't going for a QB sneak right here. Just get the first down is all you really need, but it looks like they're trying to get more.
Yeah, we see 3 guys lined up on the left side. I wonder what that's about.
Looks like a handoff up the middle, and it looks like he's able to get there, and continues to go. That was very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. We see three receivers lined up to the side, and it seemed to work. I thought they were going to maybe do a run or one of their favorite pitches, but no.
It looks like the ball may have came free towards the end, but the Vikings were able to get on top of it. Yeah, and the clock is continuing to run, and that is the first down.
First down, but not only is it first down, it is first and goal for these Vikings. They have 7 yards to go. They're really close to a touchdown. They have been closer, so this is not guaranteed, but we do hope it happens.
Oglesby with a runner right next to him. Cameron Cox is brought down almost immediately.
Second and goal for the Vikings. Lose a couple yards. Nothing to stress about. You still have about 3 more downs to go.
Because we know at this point they are not going to kick a field goal.
Yeah, third down is just another second down basically. No reason to kick the point. No reason to kick any field goals for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, what are your feelings towards that run up the middle? Because so far it has not been working.
It has not been working. We've seen so many other things work for them, but it seems like Vikings, they just love this run up the middle.
And there they go again. And
this time they gained a couple yards, not enough for a touchdown, but not a bad gain at all.
Yeah, Price able to, again, keep his feet going. We've seen that a lot. A lot of these players seem to be touched immediately at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to keep their feet moving and keep the yards going.
And we see a couple subs, people getting back in the game. Cameron Cox coming in. We know that is one of Cameron Oglesby's favorite receivers,
and he's coming out of the game. Yeah, Oglesby's coming out of the game, so it looks like there may be a wildcat here for the Vikings.
And we know how they feel about that.
Cameron Cox lined up for the snap.
Or for third down.
Price mishandles the snap, bobbles it a little bit, but is able to regain control and get a few yards.
It's fourth and goal. What are you expecting?
I honestly, at this point, I'm not too sure. I would not be surprised if they decide to run it up the middle again, maybe to a player like Cameron Cox or Price. But who knows? That curl route that they did at the beginning of this drive worked very effectively. I would not be mad if we saw that here. Maybe a screen.
It's just so hard to score with just that little of a field. We see the Vikings. They've been in this position so many times. They just can't punch it in. Hopefully this time is different, but it's so hard to score when you only have about 5 yards to work with. Everybody's bunched together.
Vikings getting ready to snap it here. A pitch, and it looks like he's going to be able to get on the outside, and it looks like it is going to be a Vikings touchdown. Cameron Cox is able to score and dive into the end zone to add 6 points. 6 needed points to the Vikings total.
Yeah, this is more than 6 points, Andrew. This is the first time HF has scored in a home game since last game. Lockport shut them out last week. This is the first time the student section has been here since probably the second home game ever. So this is a really much needed touchdown. Vikings are feeling confident. We've seen how good their defense can be. This game is nowhere near over.
And as expected, going for 2 here. Cameron Oglesby lined up. Maybe a similar play call here. Jet sweep on the outside, and looks like he may just be a little bit short, maybe a yard short, and it looks like Miles Walton was not able to get in there. So right now, as it stands, 6-20.
6-20, and it is a good 6-20. This game is a lot closer than the scoreboard, I would say, says it is. We've seen, because this is not the first time the Vikings have been into the red zone. They've been here a couple times. This is the first time they finally capitalized. And we remember Coach Alexander, he did not chose not to kick 2 field goals early in the first quarter, which probably would have been give me. Do you think that's going to come back and hurt him, leaving 6 points on the board?
Yeah, it very might well, but right now the Vikings, their defense needs to play like they did in that first quarter, do a good job at stopping those receivers, stopping those interior rushers, because as we've seen in these past few drives, the Raiders have just been able to run it right through that Vikings D-line.
You see the Vikings are getting ready to kick the ball.
Maybe a squib here. Squib kick.
Yep. They have 8 minutes. That is not a lot of time.
A takeaway, too. A takeaway would be clutch here.
And the Vikings did get a fumble earlier in the game right before the halftime. So
Spencer Leak kicking it off.
No squib kick. Just looks like it's going to be a regular kick.
Not a bad kick. Vikings able to take down the returner there.
We see some pushing after the play is over. A couple people bumping into each other.
Still playing hard. I love the energy. I love how these two teams have come out here and really competed.
Yeah, there's no reason to stop playing hard. 7 minutes and 54 seconds is still a lot of time. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, we mentioned the Alec Anderson Trophy. That's what's on the line here.
Yeah, so you cannot give up until that bell rings. We're going to see the defense probably playing some more of their Vikings defense. That good defensive line, that fast secondary. These open field tackles have been keeping them in the game.
Vikings drop back in the zone there, but the Raiders will hand it off, and about a gain of 4 yards.
Another tackle by Chris McKinney. He is wrapping guys up.
Yeah, especially in the open field. He's been able to just trip them up before they may have a big play. So that's what you need if you're the Vikings right here, especially McKinney, as you mentioned. Justin Thomas as well has been really, really good for the Vikings defense, and they need to continue to rely on those two players if they hope to stop the Raiders here. Raiders getting ready to snap it. They do, and they hand it off. And another open field tackle.
A nice one, too.
And it looks like there, again, may have been some pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct. Looks like the refs are going to talk it over. Might be on. Not too sure what the call will be, but looks like the referee's talking it over with one of the Raiders players. We mentioned it. This game has a lot on the line. Both teams are playing super hard, and again, as most games do, some of the emotions of these players have gotten the best of them.
Yeah, but when you're playing in a game like this, you cannot afford mistakes like that whatsoever.
Looks like offsetting penalties again to both teams. So that's the second time. Yeah, that's the second time we've seen that, and again, Coach Alexander's not happy with the call. If you're the Vikings, you can't have that. You can't retaliate. You have to keep cool, calm, and collected. And the Vikings, they can't afford many of these penalties, but it doesn't hurt them too much as the penalties are offset. And it looks like
the ref is talking to Coach Alexander.
Maybe a sideline warning here. It looks like the ref has had enough of Coach Alexander. And
we mentioned this game is so important. So many stakes. Nobody wants to lose this game whatsoever.
Yeah, not too sure what happened there. It seemed like they stopped play to talk to Coach Alexander for a few seconds, but now the Raiders are going back.
Your coach has to be disciplined too. You do not want to give away free yards because of pretty much somebody that's not on the field.
Bobby Irvin. Screen pass here.
Oh my gosh!
And a great tackle.
Great tackle by number 44, 44 Malik Jones. He came out there. That was a great hit. Look at that was a great tackle by him. Look, the way he just runs over there, sees where he is, and delivers the big hit before the first down can happen. That was great.
Yeah, and he's made a few of those massive hits throughout this game, and they need it. Right here is where the game will truly pay off. 3rd and 4 on the Raiders 35.
And we've seen how good this special teams can be. We've seen how good Miles and Giles Walton are at returning kicks.
Excuse me, a 4th and 4, and it looks like they're going to punt it away, and not a bad punt whatsoever.
And it seems the Vikings will have probably about 80 yards to go, about 6 minutes to get 2 more to touchdowns.
Yeah, it's definitely a steep road ahead, and the Vikings, they need to have a quick pace here. Maybe we'll see them use some of their timeouts depending on what happens during this drive as the Vikings are heading out for yet another crucial and critical drive.
Yeah, you pretty much have to play perfect football at this point. You cannot afford any penalties. You can't afford any drop passes. You really don't want to give up any sacks. You have to play a perfect game from here on out.
Vikings. Oglesby steps back, finds an open man in Miles Walton, and is able to make the catch, and is taken down pretty fiercely. But either way, very nice catch by Miles Walton, who has been making those plays all night. and all season for that matter.
Yeah. And we've seen Miles Walton has been on the team for a very, very long time. He's been on the varsity team since maybe he was a freshman or a sophomore. He has this experience. He's a really big leader for this team, and we see a lot of guys look up to him on the team.
Vikings hand it off here to Price. Finds a gap up the middle, maybe for a gain about 5.
I like how the Vikings are not wasting any time. There's about 5 minutes and 20 seconds of game time left. They don't have time to waste if you really think about it. And Coach Alexander is going, and moving the chains.
Yeah, and they, like you just mentioned, they need to keep on going. No wasted time there after the play, because they need these points as fast as possible.
Yeah, every single second matters, and we see a big game by Jaden Price. That might be enough for a first down.
It's going to be really close, maybe a yard short. We'll have to see what the refs decide.
And I know Alexander wants the refs to decide quickly so he can decide what to do next.
It looks like the chains are moving, and that is a first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, we see the fans going crazy. This game is so close.
Vikings on the Raiders 38, 1st and 10.
A touchdown here would get the fans pumping. We see Cameron throwing the ball. As
he's hit.
First down for the Vikings. They're not wasting any time.
No, Oglesby made a great pass there as the pressure was all up in his face. Maybe able to complete the pass to Miles Walton yet again. And that is another big play for the Vikings as they continue this very, very crucial drive.
Yep, second and very, very short. Not a first down. But
4th and 20, or 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. 2nd and 2. Oglesby looks back and completes the pass to Cameron Cox and is able to get a first down and more as he is taken down. It looks like one of the Raiders is coming up a little bit slowly there. But right now, the Vikings are on the move. Very, very much needed first down there. And great play by Cameron Cox, who has been really good all night. And looks like the chains are continuing to move. Maybe another penalty on the Raiders. And it is. And now the Vikings are very, very close and are in a key position to attempt to get us some more points here.
Yep. About 12 yards out away from a touchdown. And this offense has looked great out here. We're seeing something going on the field.
2 penalty markers down, and it looks like another false start. That's what you cannot have if you're the Vikings, and we've seen that so many times tonight. They just need to be more disciplined on that offensive line.
Just sloppy plays, just sloppy penalties. You hate to see it once, because we said you have to play a perfect game almost, and the penalty is literally the opposite of that. You can't get mad about a drop pass, you can't get mad about a sack, but a penalty is something that's so avoidable. You cannot have that.
And right now, the clock is not in the favor of the Vikings. Currently, 3:40 left in the final quarter of this game. Oglesby drops back, tries to find an open receiver, and finds Walton again as he goes out of bounds.
The clock should stop. Yes, the clock stops with 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the game. That was a beautiful pass by Oglesby. And they're only about 2 or 3 yards away from the end zone. This is looking really good for the Vikings.
Yeah, and right now in the fourth quarter especially, the Vikings have relied heavily on Cameron Cox and Miles Walton, as well as Jin Price. So they need to continue to keep Miles Walton cooking. Maybe find him in the end zone here. We'll see. Oglesby. Oh, and it looks like the ball is loose, and it looks like the Raiders have recovered. And a truly blowing fumble for the Vikings. That's just something you cannot have whatsoever.
That's just sloppy. First, the penalty, which you kind of got away from that. Kind of forgot about that because once Cameron completed that amazing pass to Giles Walton, then the fumble, that is just something you cannot have happen.
And that might just do it. We're 3:23 left, and all the Raiders really need to do is just run out the clock, and this one will be over.
But a positive I do see is that the Raiders are pinned pretty deep. Maybe a bad snap, and it's a safety in the Vikings ball again. We've seen how good this Vikings D-line can be. Kind of make them nervous. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah, somehow the Vikings are able to force a turnover here. That would be
the Vikings are probably going to blitz. We see them playing man-to-man coverage, press coverage.
Another little bit of a Jet sweep there, gives it out to the running back to the right side. Not too many yards there. Nice defensive stop there by the Vikings.
Keep them pinned deep. Try to hopefully make them do something stupid, make them nervous. This game is not completely out of reach.
Yeah, not sure if the Vikings will use any of their timeouts here. Maybe save them in case they get the ball back. But as we are speaking, the clock is slowly ticking down in the favor of the Raiders.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders on their own 5.
2nd and 10. We hear the announcement mention they are at their own 5. A sack here can lead to a safety, can lead to a fumble, an interception. Anything for this Vikings defense would be helpful.
And it seems like the Raiders are just continuing these QB sneaks up the middle. All they need is the clock to wind down, so they're fine with taking these runs.
With 2 minutes and 32 seconds left into the game, they have no reason to rush at all.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 here. If they can pick up the first down, that would be very, very huge for Bolingbrook. The Vikings need a stop here. Still, they're down by 14. 20-6 game, 3rd and 7. About 2 minutes remaining. The Raiders looking over their play.
Seems like guys are just standing around.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to look confused on the field.
It looks like there's a timeout for the Raiders, and as they take a timeout, we'll take one with them. Currently 20-6 Raiders. You're tuned into Viking Television.
Want custom, quality, and cost-friendly activewear? Come to Nick Snacks to design your own unique pieces. Nick Snacks will have you satisfied to the max.
Located in the heart of downtown Flossmoor, the brewery is known for its fun, comfortable atmosphere and delicious menu options. With tons of antique pictures and novelties, it is also the perfect family-friendly restaurant. Grab some friends for a good time and go visit Flossmoor Station.
You're back tuned into Viking Television as the Vikings are looking for a really big stop here on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, about 1 minute and 54 seconds left in this game. 3rd and 7. Probably going to see another run from Bolingbrook. There's no reason to pass the ball, but I do see a receiver kind of wide out a little bit.
Looks like all of their defenders are rushing the quarterback there, and perfectly done. They're able to stop him right about his 2, and it looks like another timeout will be taken by HF. But the Vikings, they really, I'm assuming that the Raiders are going to punt, but if they don't, the Raiders will try and go back on the offensive side, maybe score a touchdown. But after that, if they do manage to score that touchdown, they're going to have to try and get the ball back, whether that be through an onside kick or another turnover. But right now, all they need is points, and there maybe a punt return would be very clutch.
We've seen great punts. We've seen great returns from Miles and Giles Walton out there. They've been doing a really good job. First drive, still can't forget about that 90-yard punt return. We've seen a couple 50-yard kickoff returns. They've been doing a really good job out there, and this is when their coach needs them the most. We really have to change the game. This is the time they need to really get a great punt return.
Yeah, 100%, and all the Raiders need is to get this punt off.
A bad punt muff punt wouldn't be bad here either.
Yeah.
Let the Vikings jump on the ball. We've seen how aggressive that D-line can get. We've seen a missed field goal. We've seen a missed PAT. We know how this Vikings D-line, kickoff D-line can get.
And this is going to be a challenging punt because they're right at their 2, and the punter for these Raiders is going to have to make sure he doesn't step out of bounds. Yeah.
Yep. That will be a safety. 2 points for the Vikings if he does.
Gets the punt off just barely.
See a fair catch signal.
Probably the smart decision. Don't want to waste any more time. 1:40 left in this one.
1:40 left. Less than 2 minutes. 2 possessions, and they're out of this. But 2 touchdowns right here. A touchdown right here. That's all you're thinking about. You can't score 2 touchdowns at one time. So right now, just focus on scoring right here. Focus on make sure you have to. They already play pretty fast. They have a hurry up offense, kind of. So they're probably going to see a hurried up version of their hurry up offense.
Yeah, and I don't see the Vikings really running at all in this drive, and the O-line just is not able to take down any of those Raiders defenders, and Cameron Oglesby is taken down for a sack, and the Vikings they are running out of time here.
Yeah, they're running out of time. This offense is kind of slow to get back. We don't seem to be in a very big rush.
Vikings looking for another big play right here. Again, probably a deep pass, and defender right
kind of seemed
on
like
the back
screen
of
pass.
Oglesby, and able
Gains
to
a couple yards.
get a lot of defenders off of his back. Not a bad gain at all, but the clock is ticking. Less than a minute remaining. 51
like
seconds.
HF is
and a timeout by Bolingbrook. And the
refs look like he signaled it off. No timeout.
And the clock is again continuing to run, so that kind of hurt the Vikings right there. Oglesby.
Kind of.
What's
going?
And it looks like another false start. That is probably the 5th or 6th time that the Vikings have done that tonight, and it seems like that defensive line for the Raiders has been very intimidating because time after time they're getting these Vikings O-linemen to jump off sides.
I would say
false start.
It seems like the clock is yet again running. It seems like a lot of these it seemed like that false start was kind of caused by the confusion of the Bolingbrook calling a touchdown. Calling a timeout, then waving it off.
Oglesby drops back, tries to find a receiver deep, and the pass is nowhere near the intended receiver, Miles Walton. And it might be roughing the passer here. Looks like Cameron Oglesby got up a little bit slowly, and it is roughing the passer here. That's
should be a first down for the Vikings.
You probably don't want that if you're the Raiders, but right now, 22 seconds, it really doesn't hurt you too bad. Justin Thomas there, again, upset, but nothing to be too upset for his performance tonight, playing both the O-line and the defensive line. Very, very steady play by him tonight. Oglesby still in the game. Gets the snap, looks for a receiver, Miles Walton, completes it, breaks a few tackles, and is taken down, and that may just do it. 13 seconds remaining in the game, and it looks like the Vikings are going to come up short in this one by a score of 20-6.
And you hate to see it in this big game, the high stakes. It was youth night. We know the Bolingbrook versus HF is a very, very big deal here because of Alec Anderson, how he spent 7 years at Bolingbrook, then his final year at HF. You know, his family was here, and now it looks like Bolingbrook has the title of the
Alec Anderson Memorial Trophy, and that's a well-played game, honestly. Both teams fought as hard as they could. Unfortunately for the Vikings, they just came up short on a lot of those drives, but the Raiders are still are in good shape to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Vikings are now 4-2. 2 out of the last 3 games have been in losses.
Here the Alec Anderson family getting ready to give the trophy back to the Bolingbrook Raiders after the Vikings have won the past 2 meetings and have held on to that trophy for the past 2 seasons. Always love the sportsmanship after such a hard-fought game. These 2 teams went back and forth, few unsportsmanlike penalties, but they're able to make up after the game and continue this good season for both of these teams.
Yeah, this has been a great season for both teams. The Bolingbrook is now 5-1, while the HF Vikings are 4-2.
And they have a tough meeting coming up next. They play Lincoln Way East, who they haven't played or fared too well against, and quite honestly, and that's always a tough matchup. And there we see the Raiders running to the trophy, getting it back into their hands. Looks like they're celebrating there.
Yeah, they haven't had that trophy in a couple years now. The game started in 2014, and the Bolingbrook won the first matchup, actually, and it seems like they're getting their trophy back.
Yeah, as you mentioned, won the inaugural game the inaugural cup between these 2 teams. Nice ceremonial
They're going back to their fans on the away side. We see the visitors side is kind of packed with Bolingbrook fans, showing them the trophy.
Yeah, very, very nice to see. But as we mentioned, 20-6 game. The Vikings kind of slowed down towards the end. They had a nice start, but 20-6 is your final between these two teams.
Yeah, and this was not a bad game for the Vikings per se. Their defense looked really good out there. I'll just say for a Lincoln Way East game, make sure slow down on the penalties. Penalties have seemed to cost the Vikings a lot. Get your offense out there going early. Maybe pass the ball a little bit more, especially when the run game isn't working. And then I think you're really set versus Lincoln Way East.
Yeah, and that's always a tough game, but for Viking Television, I'm Andrew Hale.
And I'm Isaiah Adeleke.
And yes, this has been a very nice game, and good night, HF.